I'm Jake, one half of Tuxedo.
I'm Mayer Hawthorne.
And it's funny because we don't really do hip hop for this Tuxedo thing, but we met through hip hop. We were both DJs.
We were hip hop DJs.
And producers, and
we met in Seattle where Jake lives at a hip hop show.
And we both had like mixed CDs, and I gave him mine, and he gave me his, and then I went home and I was like, "There's no hip hop on this CD. It was all
funk
boogie
music.
funk."
Yeah.
And I thought that was weird because that's what I was doing. So I'm thinking I'm the only one that's on that.
Right. And I thought I was the only one, and then we just became friends from there.
That kind of started it, really.
That was it. We knew we wanted a very short, a one-word name, and it had to be something that was like classy, but like represented the music. And Chic was already taken, and Zap was already taken.
Devo.
Yeah. So Tuxedo just seemed like it worked. It fit. It was like
the music was classy.
Yeah. Right. The music is classy, elegant.
I think the only thing that me and him probably go back and forth on with the music is that he wants it faster and I want it slower.
I'm always trying to speed the tempo up, and he wants to slow it down.
That's my hip hop aesthetic. I think, it's like too fast is not really hip hop.
I want to make people dance. You know?
So I'm always more looking for the head bob.
Right. But we both love hip hop music.
We both come from that.
I'm more hip hop than people think, so it's like, we that's one of the reasons why Tuxedo works, is because we actually have very similar sensibilities.
Like we approached the funk and R&B from a hip hop perspective, and not the other way around. Whereas you have like some guys that are more like real musicians that like funk is like what they do, but they didn't come from the hip hop sampling background. And like when we're making a track, we're still trying to catch that DJ
We're thinking about it in terms of hip hop feel.
Those 4 bars that just hit you in a certain way.
Exactly.
Because all the stuff we really grew up loving was that. So the Dr. Dre, G-Funk, the Battle Cat, all of it had that element.
That's what makes Tuxedo different and modern.
Yeah. Well, it was also kind of strange because we would get together and make songs when Mayer Hawthorne first happened, and it would be something we'd just do every once in a while. We'd get together maybe once or twice a year and make some songs just for fun, and then
just for our own,
just for us,
car to drive around and listen to in my car.
And by the time we put the first album out, 2015, we really had to go on the road and spend time with each other. So it was weird, we never were spending months at a time together. So it's like, you just go out and you do it. And, it's like, I think with me and him, the really good thing is we kind of balance each other's weaknesses in a lot of ways, which is it's a secret to a good partnership with anything. Like, he's a perfectionist. I'm always like going to come with an idea.
Yeah.
And he'll really hone in on that, and I don't want to do that. So it's like it's perfect. Like I could spit out a million things, and he's more of the like fine-tooth comb.
I'm good
style.
at taking a raw idea and finishing it and turning it into a complete song.
So we don't really step on each other's toes with that. He's the singer. I'm in the background. I want to be in the background. He likes singing, so it's like it's perfect.
And we both like Xiaolong Bao. There's more 808 on this album.
I think like every record you do, since it's the third one. I mean, honestly, when we started this, we didn't think there was going to be a second one.
We didn't think there was going to be 3 albums.
But people, reacted to it, and we were like, oh shit, we better get in there and make it that third album.
Right.
So we kind of thought, like, what could we do that would put a different twist on what we've already done, and just bringing different artists to our world just seemed like the natural fit. And then it was really about finding people that A, we were friends with, B, we thought would be dope on the music, and I thought we did a good job with that. We even did songs with some like bigger names and stuff like that, but it didn't really quite fit the vibe, so we didn't run with all that.
Right. Yeah, it was important that the guest features on the album were people that we actually knew and were friends with, and they understood what we were doing.
Right,
you know?
and they were into it, yeah.
Right, and they were into it.
Yeah, it was recorded the same day as So Good, so that was in 2011. Right. So yeah, it was
we've been sitting on that one for a while. It's been waiting for the right time to put that out. It didn't fit really on the previous records.
But I think when we came with more of the some more joints with 808,
yeah,
it was kind of like, oh, we can slide this one.
Now it fit. Yeah. What's the Tuxedo way?
Well, you know, it's funny because most groups don't make like songs about themselves.
Right.
We seem to really like doing that. Fucks with the Tux was one where we just like, it was a hashtag and we just thought it was funny and we made a song about it. It was just about us.
We made the Tuxedo way really fast. I mean, it was
the last song for the album.
Last song on the album, and it was the fastest one that came together in a couple hours.
Right.
And it really was just like about having another anthem for ourselves.
Us, another celebration anthem.
Celebration song, yeah. It was like we had a lot of songs that like felt very, very fun and celebratory, but we didn't have a song that actually said those words in the song. You know, it was about, you know, let's have a toast and celebrate. And we just felt like that was crazy that we didn't have that song, so we had to make it.
But yeah, the Tuxedo way comprises of a lot of things.
It's a lifestyle.
It says coming to your city and spending all our money on records, you know.
And
stuff
and
like that.
Going to eat the best dumplings in every city, and then, you know, that's just it. It's about being comfortable with yourself.
Right. And that's been the really interesting thing for us is, you know, like, Asia has been so strong for us, and you know, you go around, you're like, people don't even know the language. How do they even know the songs? But then
they feel the vibe.
They feel the vibe is definitely that.
We're living in some very strange times right now all over the world too, and everybody all over the world needs to celebrate and escape every once in a while. So that's what we're here to provide.
I think the music too is it's a really fine line for us of like making something that's like feel good but not like overly soft or corny, you know. So like we have a line that we always say, it's like, you know, it's a fine line between keeping it G and Kenny G, and you know, we're trying to avoid the Kenny G.
We don't want to step over that line, but we still want it to be fun.
So yeah, I mean the Death Row artists, you know, obviously they brought a lot of those songs to life. The G-Funk was like so inspirational for us, and kind of, you know, definitely like a template of what we're doing. So, you know, having Snoop on the record was the ultimate, you know, cosign we could get. Getting
the cosign from Snoop Dogg and guys like Battle Cat, who we have on the new album, that lets us know that we're doing the music
right
way.
Yeah,
you know,
that's important to us.
It is.
And, you know, obviously Nate Dogg is, you know, the biggest influence probably from that whole era, because he had a way of, you know, taking some of the melodies from the classic songs and just owning it and making it his own thing.
And anytime we're stuck on a song, we always say, you know, what would Nate Dogg do?
Man, Funk on Sight is something we decided to start because we're just in an age where, you know, artists, it's really important to like control and own your own product, you know, and we've built a good fan base out there, and we just wanted to kind of, you know, try this. It's funny that we've both been in the industry so long and never done any kind of label on our own, so we felt very strong with the music and what we had done, and it's been great.
It was really we took a big gamble on ourselves, you know, a big bet on ourselves, and we didn't necessarily know for sure how it was going to work, but so far it's been really good, and I think we made the right move. It's really a great feeling to know that you own your own destiny, and that, you know, all the fans thankfully have like rolled with us through this whole thing.
Who's going to be the next artist on Funk on Sight?
Right now we're working on we just signed Bruno Mars and Kenny G to like a double deal, a 720 deal.
The third G-Force album.
Yeah. It's exciting stuff coming soon.
Always me.
Always Jake. We always look toward Father Jake for me, the fashion inspiration.
It's either tuxedos or sweatpants, and there's really no middle ground. We can't do anything but that.
The only time you wear a tuxedo is when it's time to party.
Right.
That's the motto. I think most of our inspiration for that just comes from the back of record covers.
Yeah, exactly.
Record jackets from the 70s and 80s, and we just look at the way that they were dressed on the back, and like
just even sometimes just the colors were like, oh man, that's a crazy ass color combo.
It's crazy inspirational.
Like we saw a record with the guys wearing the opposite colors, like, oh, we need to do that. You know, something as simple as that. You know, even if we didn't wear the same kind of suit.
We draw a lot from like the unsung heroes, kind of guys that put a record out in the 80s, but it didn't really sell.
Right. Well, and I think sometimes it's misunderstood what we're even trying to do with this, because, you know, obviously, you know, your Prince and Michael Jackson, that's the GOATs, right? But like with this, that's not what we're really trying to do. We're trying to do stuff like, you know, the Bernard Wright, or, you know, these more of the unsung artists that we just love some of their songs, Jerry Knight, or
trying to bring some of that energy to the mainstream, you know.
Right.
Yeah, things that were overlooked in the 80s.
It's hard. It's, you know, even with this album, we actually consider putting some more rappers on the album, but it's a tricky one, because all the rappers that we like, that we think fit on this music, you know, it's just a very unique criteria. Like, you got to be like at least 47. You know, you got to have just a certain swag about you, man. Like, it's hard to find somebody young that gets it, because
it is
what the young styles are isn't necessarily what fits on our music. You know what I mean? It just doesn't. It's not a good fit. We're not gonna force it. You know,
there's a really narrow overlap, for people, for like young artists that understand the music, and those are the people that we like to work with.
Yeah, it's definitely something we'll do more in the future.
Yeah, but like when we made the first two albums, it was something we actively avoided.
We were just like no rap on the first two albums.
We had a rule that was like no rap.
We were like no rap because we had rappers wanting to get on it. We were just like, nah.
We also had a lot of experience making rap music.
I did so much rap. The whole point was to not do rap.
The whole point was that be no rap. And then now that we're on our third album, we were like, okay, now we can come around and do some rap again.
Like the only rapper, you know, besides the Doom one, because we had done that a while ago, that I really wanted on the album was Rick Ross, because we had a song that I thought he would have been good on, but we just couldn't make it happen.
He worked with Rick Ross a lot.
And it's just some, you know, if somebody I know, then I'm gonna try to make it happen.
We still want to do that.
We still gonna try to make that happen. You know, for us, it's just been so surprising. Like, I think when it first happened, we just, like, first time we went to Japan and did Summer Sonic, we just could not believe that many people knew the songs.
It's difficult, I think, because we're all the way across the world in the United States, and, you know, even with social media, it's hard. Like, we don't really understand a lot of times if, you know, how people are reacting to the music on the other side of the world, and we've just been so surprised and really,
we just feel really lucky.
Really, you know, just overjoyed by super grateful for the reaction.
You know, a place like Jakarta, like we had no idea that this thing was resonating like that.
We never expect it, and we're always really surprised. It's been so fun.
I think funk is a universal language because everybody
loves to dance. I guess it is, yeah.
Apparently so, yeah.
And for us, you know, we're actually, you know, some artists in America don't really want to go outside their box and do other things. We go to a city and we go try to eat the craziest thing. You know, that's our first thing is records, food.
We love to experience like the local culture
every time, you know. So we want to like be part of it too and just experience the whole thing. You know?
Jive time.
I mean, it's Seattle. You know, it's funny because there's things that places that we used to go when we were younger that were really like the shit.
Yeah.
And then the internet came and ruined it, or you know, like they ran out of good stuff. So then we started going overseas. You know, you go to Amsterdam and you're like, oh man, they got different records over here. But really, the motherland is Japan. Like, I mean, Tokyo, nothing really quite competing with Tokyo as far as the quality of records.
Well, his question was, where do you go in your own city?
Oh, in Seattle? Man, I don't. You know, I honestly don't even go record shopping that much in Seattle anymore.
He goes to his record crates and find something.
I go in my garage.
Find something that he in his garage, right?
Like, oh, I forgot I had this.
In his storage unit. That's where he goes shopping. And I don't know. Yeah, I now I pretty much have like dealer friends that I buy from, like privately. I don't go to that many record stores anymore. Some of the record fairs though, like you know, like the
Smorgasbord one is good.
Beat Swap Meet, those are the best. Like the fairs where Silver Lake Record Fair or whatever, or Silver Lake Flea Market. Yeah, there's some cool shit out there.
I used to buy records from Record Jungle. He's also
Record Jungle's great.
He's one of the best stores. He's one of the best stores in the world.
He's really good. And then back home in Detroit, there's there's a bunch of really good ones. People's Records and Hello Records, and those are really good.
Yep. Obvious, we just want to make a hit.
We want to make a real hit. That's
we want to make a hit that everybody knows, right? You know? And I think that's, you know, just like, and I have a lot of friends that make big hits that everybody knows, and they want to do something cool like what we do.
Right, exactly.
So it's one of those things, like, it's always like the grass is greener on the other side, but that would be cool to have some, you know, and if we want, it has to be in the way that we want it, you know. We're not going to try to make a hit because that doesn't work. It just would have to be something natural.
We just want to make enough money where we can buy copies of records that we don't have yet, you know, like $1,000
We can go to Discount and drop a lot of money. That's the goal. Well, the funny thing about Tuxedo is we probably made some of the first songs in 2010. And at that time, there really was no plan to release it at all because we did not think anybody cared. You know, it was just like a thing that we were interested in. And then I want to say 2012, 2013, a couple of songs came out, and I was like, it's not too far off of what we're doing. So then that's why we put the 3 songs on SoundCloud. And it's crazy, that shit's still going. You know, Do It came out in 2013.
Yep.
You know? And
it's
still rolling.
Funk is not a fad.
Yeah.
I guess. It's still going, It seems like it's still building.
It just makes people feel good.
It makes people feel good, and that feeling good is never gets old. It's never going to go away.
Right.
I mean, I think really we just want to continue to build this thing and be able to come back here and perform for even more people next time, you know, and just keep building it up and make sure that we don't ever have to like do some shitty other job.
Right. I think for me, just in my experience of doing this almost 20 years, you really just have to do what feels right and what's good to you, and you got to hope that aligns with the people. Like, this is something we made purely for fun. It wasn't like a big expectation on this, and you know, it's taken us around the world a bunch of times. So I mean, that kind of reinforced that to me, even in my later career, which I would have thought, you know, I wouldn't still be learning, but, you know, every day I feel like I learned something about the approach and, you know, what I should be doing.
It sounds really corny. It's like super cheesy, but you really have to make something that resonates with you, that you know, you have to do what you think is good and don't worry about everybody else. There's already a Drake and Bruno Mars, and like there's already a Tuxedo. So if you come out with a song that sounds exactly like Tuxedo, everybody's just gonna say, "Oh, that sounds like Tuxedo," and it's not gonna. You have to make something that's your own, and that's the best advice I can give. So just be yourself. Yo, this is Mayer Hawthorne,
Jake Uno,
and we are Tuxedo. Much love to the W, Westside Love, Taipei. We up in there.